Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we're taking a closer look at AI tools for product managers. Everyone's saying they're a total game changer, but are they really worth the hype and the sometimes crazy price tag? Well, we dug through what tons of real users are saying to separate the facts from the fiction. So here's the game plan for today. First, we'll talk about the big problem that these AI tools promise to fix for product managers. Then, we'll get into the good stuff, what users absolutely love, and just as important, the not-so-good stuff they complain about. After that, we'll compare a few of the big players out there and wrap it all up with our final verdict and a handy checklist for you. Let's jump in.
All right, first up, let's kind of set the scene here. Why is everyone in product management so hyped about these AI tools anyway? Well, it really boils down to the day-to-day chaos of the job.
If you're a product manager, I bet this sounds familiar. You are just constantly juggling customer feedback, requests from every department, and deadlines that always seem to be getting closer. It honestly feels like you're drowning in information, and that's exactly where AI comes in, promising to be a total lifesaver.
Okay, now for the fun part, the hype. When these tools actually work the way they're supposed to, what do people really love about them? Let's start with the biggest win of them all.
The number one benefit, hands down, is time. And we're not talking about a little bit of time. We're talking a massive amount of time saved. Get this, some tools can save teams an average of 58 hours every single month just by automatically digging through customer feedback. That's like getting a whole week of your life back every month.
And this isn't just about saving a few minutes here and there. For a lot of teams, this completely changes the way they work. Like this one Reddit user said, AI helped their team handle user reports probably 10 times better. That is a huge, huge boost.
Another spot where AI is a rock star is with creating documents. Instead of staring at a blank page, you can just dump your meeting notes into a tool like ChatPRD and bam, it spits out a structured product requirements document, or PRD. Users are saying it makes the process up to 75% faster.
But the praise doesn't stop there. Users also love how AI can find those little hidden patterns in all that messy data, which helps them make way smarter decisions. The best tools also slide right into the software you already use, like Asana. And some, like the one from Reich, can even spot project risks before they blow up into major problems.
So, the good stuff sounds pretty amazing, right? But that's only half the story. Now we've got to flip the coin and look at the reality of using these tools, starting with the biggest complaint by a mile. The single biggest issue, no question, is the price. And wow, we are not talking about a small monthly subscription here. For a medium-sized team of about 20 people, a big tool like Product Board could cost as much as $100,000 a year. That is a massive chunk of any team's budget.
And that huge price tag leads a lot of users to ask a pretty simple question. Is it really worth it? Just like this reviewer on Capterra said, the tool is pretty good, but doesn't feel worth the cost. You see this feeling over and over again in the reviews.
Another major headache is just how hard they can be to learn. They're all advertised as super simple and easy to use, but the reality can be way different. Users say it can take weeks, sometimes even months, to really figure them out. So the tool that's supposed to save you time ends up costing you a ton of it just to get started.
And the frustrations keep coming. People also complain about hidden costs, finding out that the cool AI features are actually expensive add-ons. A lot of these tools are also surprisingly rigid. You can't really customize them. And sometimes they just don't play nice with other software you need, like GitLab, which can totally break your team's entire workflow.
So with all these good and bad points, how in the world do you even start to choose? Let's make this a bit more real by doing a quick comparison of some of the main tools out there.
As you can see, there's really no single best tool for everyone. It totally depends on your situation. If you're a product manager flying solo, something like ChatGPT is a fantastic, cheap way to start. For a bigger team with a big budget, Product Board is super powerful, but you gotta watch out for that price. Teams with tons of data might love BuildBetter, and hey, if your whole team already lives inside Notion, using their AI is a no-brainer.
And that brings us to our final section, the verdict. After hearing all of this, what's the big takeaway? How do you actually make the right call for you and your team?
So here's the bottom line. It really depends. If your team has a huge budget and you're drowning in customer data, then yeah, one of those expensive, specialized tools might be an amazing investment. But for smaller startups or solo PMs, the much smarter move is to start with the free or cheap general AI tools first.
In fact, that's our #1 recommendation for almost everybody. Before you go and spend thousands of dollars, just spend $20 a month on something like ChatGPT Plus.
Use it to learn how AI can actually help your workflow. Once you figure out what you really need, then you can decide if a big, fancy platform is worth the money.
And to help you make a really smart choice, here's a simple 4-step checklist. First, figure out the total cost with all the hidden fees. Second, actually test the integrations with the tools your team uses every day. Third, make sure you can customize it to fit how you work. And last, make a real plan for the time it'll take your team to learn it. Seriously, don't skip these steps.
At the end of the day, it all boils down to this one big question for your team. You've seen the potential benefits and you've seen the real costs. Now you have to decide if that trade-off makes sense for you. The boost in productivity is definitely real, but so is the price tag. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Best AI Apps Review channel. Don't forget to subscribe and stay curious. The future of AI is just getting started.